Hello Virgo, Elsie here to do a reading for you, my friends. How are you? Thank you so much for clicking here, my Earth cousins. And we've got just one deck we're using this week called the Voice of the Souls Oracle. I'm going to throw a couple of these oracles and then we're just going to use tarot and find out what the cards mean. And thank you for showing up here. If you're the person who always shows up here, Virgo, I appreciate you. If you're brand new and you just rolled up on all the shenanigans, welcome. If you would like to stay, there is a subscription button down in the bottom right-hand corner of this little square where I live. Let's find out what's going on for you, Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Look, I'm always reading for the week ahead. Virgo, you know that if you've been here before. My readings are always for the week ahead, so whether you get this today, tomorrow, or next year, it could resonate with you. Let's find out what's going on for you, Virgo. We've got a karmic message. Very interesting. Let's find out what's going on. One more card. We've got learning. So a karmic message. So it feels like it could be a message from a karmic thing, right? And for me, karmic things are things that show up simply to teach you a lesson of some sort. It feels like a message is showing up. We're going to clarify that, of course, and it's going to be for your learning. It feels like it is a good message. We do have card number 10, or it is something that brings a message. Oh, look, yeah, good communication here. It is a message telling you about something that has wrapped up, because we do have card number 37. Card number 37, which is a 10. It feels like it's telling me that something has wrapped up for you. We do have a loss here. We have card number 18. It feels like you didn't see it coming. There is communication here, which is number 1, which is interesting because this is card 37, which is a 10, breaks down to a 1. This is card 10, which breaks down to a 1. So my intention for this reading is to talk about, because the week ahead is going to be after the full moon in Sagittarius, Virgo. And so the full moon in Sagittarius comes up tomorrow, but we still have, energy that's going to permeate through. And we're going to see what's going to be coming up in your new cycle here, your new chapter after this full moon. So for those of you who are ready to let go of something, it feels like it may be hard to let go of something. You might consider it a regrettable loss, but I feel like whatever it is was only here to teach you something, and then it was supposed to go. So we do have a karmic message. Let's talk more about what that means. Tell me about Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Oops. Got the Queen of Wands, and the Five of Cups is in the reverse. So no more regrets for making a bold move. Very interesting. Right, we weren't ready for that, so we won't keep them, but we'll throw them back in and acknowledge them. Let's find out what's going on for you, Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about this karmic message. It feels like it is something that is about an ending, or something's wrapping up, something is finishing. It could be a karmic something or other. It could be a relationship, could be a job. It's something that was here for a time and was not meant to stay in your life for the whole time. Was meant to teach you a lesson. Tell me about this karmic message. What's the message about? We do have the Nine of Swords. So I feel like it actually gives you a relief from some sort of a worry that you had. Because the card 37 is a 10, I'm thinking about the 10 of Swords because the first card out is Swords. And 10s are always the wrap up, right? They're always the end of the cycle. So you go from the 9s to the 10s. I feel like it's something that was on your mind. It was worrying you. You didn't know what you're going to do with it in the future. It's been dragging around from the past. We have the Three of Cups here. Very interesting. We have the Chariot here. It does feel like for some of you, this is something that you've been worrying about. It feels like for some of you, it could be third party. It could be about a party. Maybe you're being released from an obligation to go to a social event that maybe you are kind of worried about. Maybe you didn't want to go there anyway. Maybe you would have had to travel to get there, travel by car, travel by plane. It feels like this Three of Cups, though, could also be that it feels like there was a worry that somebody had met someone else in a social group or a social circle. And I want to say that for those of you who thought that maybe there might be somebody who was maybe flirting with other people, like maybe you're dating this person. It doesn't feel like a solid marriage or long-term relationship. It doesn't feel as dramatic as that, but it feels like it's almost like you said, can you ask that person? Did that person hit on them? Like it feels like the person that I brought to the party, did they hit on other people? I want to know. It feels like you get the call about this karmic message. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, which tells me you've been waiting waiting for an answer, waiting for a message. You ask somebody to do maybe a little bit of investigative work here. You want to know the details of what went on. But we also have the Five of Cups in the reverse. I feel like whatever information you receive with the Ace of Pentacles here, whatever you receive allows you to release something or to stop feeling regretful about it. It's almost as if it's a loss, but it actually gives you relief because now you can invest somewhere else here. This could be definitely about a job, but it does feel like it's about something that involves your feelings. It feels like there's something that was hiding under the surface and you wanted to know just so you could move on. Like you wanted to know, was this person flirting with other people? Because if they were, then I'm just not going to do that. Virgo, you can't tell me you're not jealous. Most Virgos I know are quite jealous. And so I feel like it's a like, well, if they're going to flirt with other people, then they don't need me. It feels like that sort of energy. Tell me more what's going on here, please, with Virgo. Feels like somebody had a worry about the social gathering, and I just want to move on. Maybe you send somebody in to do some investigation here. The heart cycle is over. So we have, this is the deck that has this particular card, Angel of the Night. And Tarot of the Night is what this is called. And we do have the Angel of the Night. When the Angel of the Night shows up, it's like the release. It's the release of the Nine of Swords. It's a release of a hard cycle or hard thoughts or whatever it is that was making you feel like you were in the darkness. We do have the Six of Pentacles here, and we do have the Queen of Wands. So I feel like we have confirmation here that you were actually being breadcrumbed by someone and you really didn't know that you were. I feel like you suspected it, or maybe you thought, oh, well, maybe I'll just send someone in to do a little bit of investigative work. The Six of Pentacles sort of confirms to me that it's the end of this karmic cycle here, that you are getting a karmic message or a message about a karmic is what it feels like. I'm going to say don't feel bad about it, but like I'm looking at you, looking as the Queen of Wands here, whether you're feminine or masculine here. You could have a fire placement. You don't have to, but it feels like you're somebody who is quite alluring, quite good looking, feminine or masculine, quite charming. You're somebody who knows their own self-worth. You're very independent, and I think that you really just wanted the answer. Is this what has been going on? I just need to know if this is what's been going on. So I think that you're right, because it feels like this Fool card here with the Four of Pentacles tells me that you have decided, you know what, I'm just not going to call this person back. I'm going to block them. I'm not going to talk to them, and I'm just going to carry on with my life. And that's going to be your Justice. We do have Justice at the bottom of the deck as well. I feel like this was particularly for your learning. It was for your learning and your stability, I'm going to say. Let's find out about this learning. Tell me what you were supposed to learn from this particular situation. I think you went from worrying it would be over to, okay, good, it's over. Now I can just move along. Like that's what it feels like here. We do have the Emperor. It was teaching you how to stay solid and sturdy in a storm. It was teaching you your worth, I feel. Teaching you that you can stay in control no matter what the situation brings. You can stay in control. And look, I feel like you're showing up as this Emperor energy because you are solid, grounded, stable. It feels like you are in charge. I'm going to say it levels you up is what it does. It levels you up and makes you feel like, now I know that my intuition was correct and I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to take charge of the situation and keep moving forward here. We have the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords tells me that this was a situation that was necessary for you to show up for you to help you complete some sort of transition. It feels like you were supposed to transition out of a situation where you didn't belong. It was a karmic situation. So it feels like that this situation, you assumed that this person is not really giving me the attention that they should be giving me if I'm the Queen of Wands. And I think that you were correct here. The Six of Swords tells me that you're moving along or moving forward here, but it also is telling me that you are in some sort of transition here. That this Emperor, it could be an Emperor that you were dealing with. Look, the person that you met, the person that you were maybe dating, could be the Emperor person. That person could be someone that you are, or that was here to specifically bring you through some sort of transition. They were supposed to test a boundary. It's like it was supposed to come at you and you were supposed to recognize it. And if you didn't recognize it, then you would just carry on with this person until it finally broke down where it didn't work anymore. But I feel like you caught it at the beginning. I feel like you're really on point with your intuition. We do have the Strength card here. So I feel like what it was trying to teach you here was to be strong. that it is good for you to hold back, to not be accusatory, to not go at that person and say, I know what you were doing. Because that's the big, bold move, right? I feel like this energy of the Queen of Wands is part of this big, bold move that you might have done in the past, which is put your finger in their face and say, look, you're not doing that to me. But I feel like instead, you had some control. You held back and you wanted to see what the situation was going to bring. You were in this 4, right? The 4s are about stability. You kept your spot. You kept your stability. You kept your head about you. You didn't lose your shit. You just waited to see what was going to happen. And I think that this particular lesson was teaching you to transition to your strength, to prove to you that you do have the ability to hold back whenever you want to, because you are courageous, because you are strong. We do have the Judgment card. See, this person I feel was instrumental. Look, we're all sometimes, I wouldn't say we're all, but sometimes we get into a position where we meet somebody, we automatically assume that they're supposed to be there forever, and then we get pissed off with them because they leave. But I really do believe that this person, you signed them up in the ethers before you got here and said, look, I need you to show up and test my boundaries because I'm going on to something really big. And usually that's what happens when our boundaries are being tested here, Virgo. When our boundaries are being tested, it's because we're on the precipice of something huge or something, a big change, right? And so I'm going to say that this full moon, look, we have a full moon. We have all these full moons, full moon here, right? And I feel like you are supposed to learn how to wrap something up without losing it, keeping your stability, keeping yourself in control or under control with the Emperor energy here. And you're supposed to just quietly move on in strength. And I feel like you passed the test. We've got Judgment here. It's supposed to send you on a new path. You're supposed to, oh, interesting, turn away. You're supposed to turn away. Instead of following this person into the abyss, you were supposed to turn away. And I feel like the Emperor energy is telling me that you were strong enough to do that. You turned away and you went the other way. And I think that's what you were supposed to do here. The 5 of Wands is here. I feel like you argued with yourself, though. And I think that's why you may have sent somebody else in to do a little bit of snooping, to say, look, was it just me or was that person, did I see that person sort of snuggling a little close to that other person at the party? And I feel like this is something that you noticed right away, but you didn't want to accuse anybody of anything. We've got the 4 of Wands here. Very interesting because we've got another 4 here. So the 5 of Wands and the 4 of Wands is the 9. I think that maybe you would, in this situation, feel as though you were the wounded warrior, but I don't think that's what happens this time. I think what happens is it actually levels you up. You actually come into stability. Look, I'm happy. I'm happy that I knew that this person was a karmic right from the very beginning. But look, a lot of us will follow the karmic into the abyss. Just because we see the sun in the distance, we will follow the karmic into the abyss. There is a sun in the distance here. And look, sun for me is Leo. It's the sun is Leo. And I feel like this person might have been very good looking or very charismatic. And it feels like you were about to follow them into the abyss until the Judgment card showed up and said, whoa, 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 whoa. Remember, we've been at this precipice before, and I think you fought yourself or argued with yourself because you didn't want the competition. You got pissed off because this other person put you in a place of competition. But I think that you stabilized it, man, is what you did. I feel like you stabilized it, and you're like, this is not even worth my energy, my effort. All right. Let's in the middle here, we're going to go into the extended, but in the middle here, I'm going to put down some advice, and we're going to talk about that in the extended. We are going to talk a little bit more about this, about the karmic lesson. I'm going to say at what point you decided that you were going to take another road, because it feels like with the 5 of Wands, you fought yourself, right? But I feel like this person definitely was here to level you up and to bring you out of some sort of dark kind of energy that you had been in. I feel like this might have been a trigger for you, Virgo, that when you get breadcrumbed, you get triggered. And I feel like you was put in a social situation, and it was supposed to happen super quick to see if you would notice it. Let's see what the advice is for Virgo. Virgo, we're going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, there is a link at the very top of all of the comments, which does have a join link for the membership area. All my extendeds, I put extendeds in there almost every day. And if you want to join us there, you may do that. Also, if you're interested in a private reading, please look at the private reading link that's there. I do live readings, and I also do pre-recorded readings. I will be live tomorrow. Right today is the 10th of June. If you're watching this real time, I will be live on Hypsee tomorrow in the evening. If you want to go check my times there, tomorrow's Wednesday and the following day, Thursday. Tell me what is going on here. Tell me what the advice is here for you. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got the Six of Wands. Just carry on into the new cycle, because that's where your victory is. That's what it looks like here. The victory is you getting across the finish line. The King of Pentacles is here. It's knowing your worth. I really do feel that you have been tested here, that this was a karmic cycle that you could have entered, and it could have ended badly, because karmic things always end. They're definitely just here to teach us something. And I feel like you caught it. The King of Pentacles is here. That's your energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You caught it. Why? Because you realized your worth is what it is. You're worth more than that. Let that person have who they're going to want to have. That's fine. I am going to cross the finish line. I'm going to be finished with this, and I'm going to head out into the new cycle here with the Ace of Wands. One last card here for Virgo. We've got the Knight of Cups. Look, there is more romance coming up in the future, I feel. There's the Hermit and there's the Devil. I feel like you sit with this for a while, because you don't want to repeat a cycle, which is accusatory, which is, I'm going to use all my energy to fight and argue and you know, get into that sort of whirlwind of toxic energy. I feel like you do something completely different, because now you're in the Hermit energy. Instead of losing your crap everywhere, because of a Tower moment, instead of losing your crap, King of Cups is in the reverse with the Tower moment. Instead of doing that, you just decide to burn it to the ground, man. You just decide to drop it and leave it. 10 of Wands is here. And so this Devil energy with the Hermit energy, I feel like that's how you overcome this this energy of the Devil, this doubt about yourself or whatever it is. It's because you're already in this Hermit energy here. You're in this sort of energy of, I've got my light. I don't need that person. It feels like you made a really great decision, and you stopped the thing from happening before it even began. You were tested and you passed. We're going to talk more about this. We're going to talk about why this is your advice in the extended. If you want to be there, please check the pinned comment at the top of all the comments, and I'll go for now. But I'll be back, because I'm always back, Virgo. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll be back later. Bye-bye.